Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to cover the grades 4, 5, and 6 standards around networks and systems design for the State Ed Computer Science and Digital Fluency Standards. The link at the bottom of your screen and in your slide deck will take you out to the State Ed website so you can take a look at these standards. So networks and systems design is one of the smaller areas. There's only 5 standards within this concept area. It's broken down into 2 sub-concept areas, hardware and software, where we're talking about the physical components, and software, where we're thinking about the programs that we use on the hardware. And then we're talking about the networks and the system, networks and the internet, where we're talking about the way data is stored and how it's transferred or transmitted throughout the world. These standards may be something that you would do as little side things within your classroom. It doesn't always have to be a full-blown lesson. Obviously, full-blown lessons are great too. But as we go through, you're going to see some easy ways that you can implement these standards around what you do already in the classroom. So again, you have the state ed examples on the left. In the center, you have more resources in the Wakelet collections, and then we're going to click on the activity books to take us out to the book creator website where we have our books. Now, you may notice as we go through some of these books that there may be some gaps, or your screen might have more pages as you're going through the books. These are constantly being updated. So if there isn't something there now, just know that things are coming as we're entering new ones into the book. So we're going to grades 4 through 6. We're going to click Read Now. We're going to click on that arrow, and then we're going to go down to the concept area of networks and systems design. You'll see the cover page for networks and systems design and the 2 sub-concept areas. The first one for hardware and software is to propose improvements to the design of computing technologies based on an analysis of user interactions with that technology. So we're thinking about optimization. So we know that something works really well, but maybe there's ways we can improve it. So you can have your students design something new, or take a tool from the past and think about how it has changed and what they would do to change it. You can have your students look at inventions. They can talk about different sensors and so on. The next one for hardware and software is to model how computer hardware and software work together as a system to accomplish a task. So we might be thinking about inputs and outputs, processors and storage. So here we can have your students draw a computing system and talk about what all the parts do. It's a really fun activity for your students. Here's some resources for you. And then when we go to networks and the internet, number 3, we're talking about the potential solutions to solve problems using common troubleshooting strategies. So here we're thinking about when something doesn't quite work, what can we do? This could be done through textperts or different jobs within your classroom. Having your students figure out how to fix things. Student help desks would be great for this one as well, as you're going through and thinking about how to get these standards into your classroom. For networks and the internet, number 4, we're talking about model how data is structured and to transmit through a network. So we're thinking about how it's broken down into different parts. Here you can talk about, thinking about how we transfer data, how data can be used. You can teach them Morse code or something along those lines to think about how data can move in different ways. And then finally, in networks of the internet, we're talking about where the data is stored, either locally or remotely, and how it's accessed. So you can talk about video games that are played, or where we store our data on our computers, or the different programs that we use online. So that's pretty much it for networks and systems design. Like I said, it's a very small area, but really important information for our students to understand, the technology that they have at their fingertips.